common symptom shared by a lot of genetic diseases is trouble sleeping, which stems from disruption of what we call the circadian system, our body's internal clock, so to speak, of like how it helps regulate itself from day to day and month to month.
People with cystic fibrosis have disordered sleep, and they don't sleep as well. They don't sleep at the same times as other people.
My program of research focuses on determining the source of that problem. And while I was in my PhD program, that's when I met Dr. Rebecca Dara, who was just a huge inspiration to me.
I think one of the questions we're asked often is, how do you inspire junior researchers? And I will say it's extremely easy. You bring them in and show them what we're doing, and they fall in love with it.
Becky asked me one day if I wanted to come and participate in one of these events, and I really enjoyed it, and I've stayed involved with it throughout my PhD and now into my postdoctoral research as well.
My favorite part of working with the junior researchers is just the new perspective that they always bring in. They think of experiments that I never could have thought of. They bring in a whole new energy, a whole new perspective.
Last year I presented at the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation and was a finalist for the Best Junior Investigator in Basic Science Award.
As scientists in an academic setting, when we come up with an idea for a set of experiments, we propose that set of experiments, we seek funding for that set of experiments. That whole process takes about a minimum of a year from the time we come up with the idea to the time we can actually get funding. So the idea for the Research Institute was to streamline that process, that if there were people who were interested in helping us get those experiments underway quicker, we would be that much closer to seeing successes in the clinics.
So because of the support of the Research Institute and of the donors of the Research Institute, we were able to purchase some equipment that I use to study the many effects of the circadian system. And we were able to use that equipment then to get more funding from the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, from the National Institutes of Health. We were able to publish 2 papers in the last year that relate to this. And we've had multiple presentations accepted talking about this, and it's a really exciting time to be doing this stuff.
I've worked with lots of families in the past during the time of diagnosis of some of these diseases. And the thing that they all want to know is, what is the future going to be like for my child? Of course, our ultimate goal is to cure as many different kinds of diseases, whether they're genetic diseases or other causes. A cure is always a good thing, right? But I think there's a lot to be said for giving people improved quality of life, decreased symptoms, just better functioning overall, even if that elusive cure is still a ways down on the horizon.
With some of the recent advances that we've had and some of the equipment that we've purchased to study this stuff, we've made some really big discoveries in the circadian system as it relates to genetic disease in the last year and a half alone. I think we are on the trajectory that we need to be on to help ensure that kids with genetic diseases not only live longer, but feel better as well.